Welcome back to the show. It seems as if we've got a little songbird in the loft.
Oh.
Is it all the incredible food that we're making today?
Was I whistling?
It's got you singing, huh?
Oh, it's got me singing, indeed. It's going to be all sweet and fragrant.
Well, I cannot wait. And if you're wondering what we're talking about, these little bite-sized apple pies are fun to make for the kids. Simply wrap a strip of pastry around apple wedges, shake some cinnamon sugar, then just bake them and watch them disappear.
Talk about simplicity. Talk about easy, talk about economical, talk about flavor.
Yeah.
And keep those little ones quiet for just a bit so you can think about yourself. It is 2022, what are my resolutions? You know?
And Dumi, you know when you say for just a bit, because these truly are so tiny, you just inhale them in one and then they're back to talking again. I'm sure they're that yummy.
They are that yummy. So because we're saying we're bite-sized apple pies, I just want to show the viewers a trick. If you are doing the apples and you want to make sure you don't have a core that actually takes the center out, then just cut it in spaces like this where you cut not in the center but just off center, and then you go do the same and make sure just you leave the center completely untouched, because in that way you're able to get your wedges without the seeds, and then you can use this, pickle this, make a jam of it. It's completely up to you, but then this is exactly what we want, because we just want the wedge part to wedge into the center of our pastry. But in order for Jenny to be able to add the rest of the ingredients, I need to add our Clover Classic fat spread into my pan here, because what I need to do is I need to melt it up, because she's going to brush the pastry with this fat spread and then drizzle some cinnamon sugar on there. Wow. I love the fact that it's enriched with a touch of cream there, and you know that it is that great source of 10 vitamins in it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. I have to say that you don't have to make your own pastry. You can buy it.
Of course you can.
Quite an order.
Team, buy your own. That's me.
So, okay, what I have here is some short crust pastry. But sometimes I also have a lot of puff pastry in my freezer. So if you've got apples and you really want some puff, then just use that. But this gives it lovely richness. And then, you know, Tums, you were talking about how to cut the apple. I've got parrots, so normally what I do the off-center thing, but I take the seeds out because the seeds they're like arsenic. But then you don't waste anything. So if you have parrots, you can just feed it to your birdie birds.
That's such a cute tip and trick, because nothing goes to waste in our kitchen, especially not food. I don't like that at all.
No.
Now, when it comes to our pastry, you have mentioned we're using a short crust pastry.
Yes.
If you do have a puff pastry, you're also more than welcome to do that. When it comes to putting in fruit in any type of warmer, especially the oven, and apples, it goes soggy. So will that add just that extra and off-put the texture?
You know what? This is not going to be soggy, because there's a tip that my grandmother taught my mother, and my mother taught to me, is make your oven tray very hot before you start.
Okay.
If you are going to be using pastry, and then you put it straight down onto that, and there's enough heat going around the front and the bottom and the sides, and then your bottom is beautifully...
Oh, it comes out well and not soggy. I like that. I'm definitely going to try remember that. And now, preparing the pastry.
Yes.
What are you doing?
So what we're doing here is just some sugar and some cinnamon. You could use some ground, because we've got the festive still. You could use some mixed spice if you don't have cinnamon in your kitchen. And I just want to pat it all over. Or you could mix it into your sugar and then throw it down, because apples and cinnamon, don't they love each other, darling?
Yes, yes.
And then you're going to give me some of those beautiful apples.
Some of these beautiful apples.
Love it.
Actually reminds me of a recipe I made when I first started in the industry.
Yes.
And we used to make an apple crumble ice cream.
Oh.
So imagine taking this, serving it with ice cream, or just breaking it all apart, adding it into some vanilla ice cream, freezing that again, and then having it at a later stage.
Don't worry, that's next week. Wink, wink, I'm joking. That does sound delicious. And this is very, very reminiscent of an apple crumble. The pastry that Jenny has prepared is very much like the crumb.
Yes.
That is the base of the apple crumble. And then this apple on top, I mean, an apple is an apple is an apple. And today we went for green apples, but I can imagine you can just play with various types of apples.
I love a pink lady. So pink lady is one of the best cooking apples for me, and this is second best. So what I've done here is I'm wrapping it with the cinnamon on the inside, because I want it to hug the apple, and then just give it a nice little...
Another coat
of sugar to keep it gorgeous. Look at that. And as it cooks, it's going to open out.
Yes.
It's going to open out and look absolutely gorgeous.
And how long would we bake this for?
Oh, I don't know, about what? 15,
Yeah,
15
15 minutes.
12 minutes.
Also,
Yeah,
ovens
quick, quick.
differ. So
Yeah.
we've got the recipe on afternoonexpress.co.za. If you want the exact details, definitely go there and get that information. But the other thing is, if you don't have apples, any other hard fruit would work. Like, you could use your pears. The only thing we're shying away from is, unless you want it to be all gooey and messed up on the plate, then you can use your berries. But try harder ones, because you want to keep...
Stone fruit.
Stone fruit, definitely.
Stone fruit. There's still stone fruit in 2020. What is it, 22?
2022.
I'm going to get this other year out of my mind. Yeah, stone fruit. Imagine lovely big chunks of peach or nectarine.
Lovely.
It'd be fantastic.
And just to enjoy this delicious treat, I can just, perfect for tea time, sitting down and it being your little snack in between your sips, or leveling it up the same way that you've presented it here, with some gorgeous, refreshing scoops of ice cream, just to cut through as well and elevate it more.
Definitely. If you also want to add some caramel sauce on top.
Yes.
Let's keep adding. And get to the year of 2022 is just about abundance. So let's abundantly give. And if you would love this recipe, head over to afternoonexpress.co.za.
So, we've had classic fashion from Timby, classic cars, thanks Chad, and we've seen classic hairstyles. And you, Michael? Classic!
A classic range from Clover. Timeless taste.
Made with love by Clover.